There are churches that really focus on deeds. That is, we're going to be here, we're going to love people, and they're short on truth. I don't know if you've ever been to one of those churches. They aren't sure about what the truth is, and we're not quite sure, They're afraid to push any of their truth on someone else. Have you ever heard, this is my truth and all that? Well, what they're saying by that statement of we're not sure, I don't want to push my truth on you, they're also admitting then that they believe that truth in general is relative, that there isn't a fixed truth of any type. And so they will help with food and shelter and jobs and justice in society, and they can improve their working conditions, but it's just half the equation, okay? Now, there are other churches, and probably a lot of them, that are really strong on truth. They preach truth. They talk about truth. They talk about absolute truth. They talk about doing everything just right and having it all down, and the formulas and the doctrines are there all in a row. But they say, all that stuff, doing these social ministry things, that's just material goods. That doesn't really matter. It's all going to burn anyways. And the real important thing is the spiritual. And they make this divide between the material world and the spiritual world, which is really stupid because they aren't. I mean, I am a spiritual material person, aren't you? Right? They think it's all about eternity, all about the next world, very little about here. And we here at Thrive want to be a church, as John talks about it, of word and deed, truth and love. You might say, well, wait a minute, John, you might be a good exegete. You might understand. This passage is talking about brothers, how I treat my brothers. I'm assuming that means within the Christian church. I love one another. Jesus said that in the Gospel of John, love one another. He didn't say love the world. He said love one another. So does that mean it's only about how I treat other Christians? Well, it's a good place to start, let me tell you, okay? And I've seen in Christian churches where people don't treat each other that well, and maybe you have too. And so a lot of people try to draw the line, well, if they're in our fellowship, we love them. If they're outside of our fellowship, we ignore them.